Yo, 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 what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Nate the Great coming at you with another live. You already know if you're new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. To all the returning friends and family, you already know it's peace and blessings. I'll give y'all time to tune in. Apologies for the late live pushback. I was trying to start this sucker 2 hours ago, but as y'all hear in the background, this wind is not letting up. It's nice outside, but this wind is not letting up. And I think it could still possibly rain. So those in the city, keep an umbrella spare and handy just in case of anything. Yeah, but just try to keep yourselves in good spirits, especially for the weekend. If you got plans this weekend, like I said, keep yourself visual alert, keep yourself safe. Um, Also, for those celebrating birthdays, happy birthday and another year and another blessing around the sun. Hopefully, all of y'all got your weekend plans in order. Hopefully, you can just sit back and enjoy the blessing. If you're going to be with family, hey, same thing. Enjoy every minute and every blessing. Appreciate everybody that tuned in. Just shoot. TGIF. Hopefully, everybody's having a blessed and productive Friday. Hopefully, everybody smoothly getting through their work day. I know for some outside the states, y'all done already started going back to school. Hopefully, you got your kids in order. Hopefully, your kids is getting through their school day. Appreciate everybody that tuned in yesterday for the conversation. Sticks, what's going on, my guy? Appreciate everybody that tuned in yesterday for the conversation. Definitely was one that was needed, and I did say I was going to reiterate it to a degree, and I still mean it. My bad, y'all. If y'all hear this wind in the background, this weather is really doing a 180 on my ass right now. Like shit crazy. It was just sunny, and now it got hella cloudy like it's rainstorm, man. But no, that's what's up, bro. That's what's up. You know, conversation like that was needed yesterday because again, you gotta bring something on a general scale of things. One thing I've always said is that again, there's just some things you are never supposed to force on a child. Agendas is one of them. Another thing you never should really force on a kid is something that they really don't have interest in. Like if you know your child, prime example, your child could like instruments or your child could play an instrument, but it might not be the instrument you want them to play. Should it matter? It really should. As long as your child is still taking an interest in something, that's the most important thing. There are some parents right now who go through extreme lengths to force things on their children that don't need to be forced. Again, children are supposed to be able to make their own decisions at certain points. I felt that. Like I said, if your child don't like piano but they like guitar, they like playing flutes and stuff like that, hey, then encourage them to do so. You gotta remember, kids are gonna tell you, they're gonna tell you everything they need to tell you. You definitely wanna say things are happy. They're gonna tell you when things are not looking right. So, it's all about listening and communication again. Your children are telling you that they're unhappy with certain things, and you really need to start paying attention. Stop hearing what you want to hear and listen to what you need to hear. Your child will be telling you something in so many words without having to say nothing. A lot of times you gotta read the body language too. Like I said again, if a child is showing that they don't have interest in something, then find something that interests them. You know? And I think that's a key problem right now. Again, you want to force things on children, and it's not always going to be that. It's not going to always be that way. You know. This is where rebellion comes in, because again, you're forcing me to do something I don't want to do. Come on, son, with that bullshit, son. Get back to work. Get back to work. No Uber Eats. No Uber Eats, no nothing. My bad, y'all. Oh, it's gotta be. Son, I took a picture with you the last time. 24. I just took one with you. Oh, give me a second. I just took one with you. Yeah, my bad, y'all. But again, this is where rebellion does come into play because if you're not gonna sit there and do what's necessary, you're not gonna listen to when your children are blatantly telling you something, then guess what? They gonna feel the need to say, "Well, I don't need to come talk to you," or "I don't need to bring anything to your attention because you're not gonna pay me no attention." And it's the saddest thing again when parents are not paying attention. Your children can tell you so many different things, but again, I'm starting to rain now, y'all. I'm glad I got back to my destination quick. So if I decide to take that walk, there we go. Started back raining. Uh, James, what's going on, my guy? My bad, y'all. Again, I'm trying to get the hell out this wind, and now it's starting to rain. I felt the cold rain on my back. Ah, nah, it sticks because come on now. Prime example. I seen a situation one time before where dude almost started wilding out because it's like, look, I'm telling both. I'm telling but then you still trying to force it. Prime example. If I'm telling you I don't want to play sports, why you can't respect it? Popcorn, what's going on, my guy? But it's the truth. If I'm telling you I don't want to play sports, as your child, you should listen to me. Okay, well, if you don't want to play sports, then what do you want to do? As a parent, that's when you're supposed to sit down and have that discussion. Okay, well, if you don't want to do this, what do you find interesting? What are your interests? Not just your hobbies, but what are your interests? Got to think about that. Because kids, one minute will be wanting to do something, but then in the next instance, they'll change up their whole mind and their whole script. That's why I'm saying when they're young and impressionable, you try to give them the best ideas possible. But you can't sit here and just try to force your child to do something. And if your child is not happy doing it, that's even worse. It would be the same way right now if somebody was trying to force you to do something you didn't want to do as an adult. You would be upset. Or you would even come to close of saying, you know what, F this, not doing nothing. Serious, baby. Yeah, my bad, y'all. Fake ass hurricane winds almost knocked the damn gate down over there. She get gangsta out here. So they definitely did a 180 on your boy. But this is what I'm saying though. It's true. If your child is letting you know this is something I don't want to do, then find something that they can do. Find something that's going to keep them interested, but also keep them at bay. That is the whole purpose of everything. Again, letting your child grow naturally, but not forcing things on them. Let them decide if they want to be into sports. Let them decide if they want to act. Let them decide if they're going to try to be a part of that entertainment field. Let them decide if they're going to be a regular 9 to 5 or if they're going to create their own. How they gonna learn certain things if again you're holding hands? Yeah, you can hold hands with them to a certain extent. After that, they gotta figure out things on their own. Prime example, you can't always tell your children what to wear. You could give them warnings, like your daughter's prime example. There's a lot of y'all right now that got your daughters coming outside, I'm sorry, looking like $2 trends. No way in the hell you gonna tell me your children is outside with mini short skirts and everything that they're supposed to have on at that age. And then you're wondering why it's a lot of shit going on right now. Because again, when you got the world being too damn fast and nobody's giving no real guidance, this is what you're gonna get. It's sad to say. The reason why I'm saying this so toughly is because it's true. There's no way in the hell you should be matching what you. There's no way in the hell you and your daughter is matching. And I'm talking about outfits that you know for a fact ain't even supposed to be worn outside. There's no way you can tell me you and your daughter feel comfortable matching the same outfits. You know? And then the same token, you're almost putting the general sexualization of your children out. You know, come on now. If I got my daughter outside, my daughter's supposed to be wearing shit that they're supposed to be wearing, not no shit that could get the wrong attention, basically. And that's what you got to be careful of, because again, we have so much different shit going on. We got so much creep shit going on. You don't know who's who. Ruthie, baby. Hope all well with you, sis. You know what, you got to remember that part. But some of y'all training your daughters to be careless individuals, irresponsible individuals, streetwalkers, so on and so forth. You're not even teaching them the balance that you need to teach them. You're not giving them that balance. You're not showing them that, look, even if you're going to wear something outside that's for you, make sure that it's not too skimpy. Make sure that you don't got a prime example. Got some of these people right now letting their kids run around with them super short skirts that you got to keep pulling down every 2 seconds. You're going to get annoyed. I'm sorry, some of you women will get annoyed as a woman. Got to keep pulling down your skirt. Got to keep pulling down your skirt. Ass cheeks all out in the head. You're getting all the wrong attention. Eve, baby. Y'all already know if y'all just tuned in, the like button. Again, apologies for the wind in the background. I'm still on my morning, / afternoon walk. Yeah. My bad, y'all. This weather did the 180 on your boy. It was just sunny 2 seconds ago, and now it looks like we about to have Hurricane Sandy, Katrina, and Bob come through this bitch. My bad, y'all. But yeah, this is not a good look. Again, there's some of you mothers and some of you fathers out there not paying attention and not giving 2 shits about your children until something ends up happening to your children. I don't think that's fair. It's not okay for a lot of y'all to be having your daughters out here with the shit that they're wearing. And then they getting the wrong attention. And if, prime example, if your young daughters is already starting to blossom or already kind of looking like adults, that makes shit worse. Because now when they come outside wearing something, you don't know who's outside, you don't know who's looking them up and down, you don't know who even trying to scheme to do something. That's why I say we got to start doing better. You know, again, start raising the bar up, man. Raise the bar back up, because we had the bar up at one point. And that bar dropped down because, again, like I said yesterday, sitting here allowing a lot of different things to just pan out the way they pan out. Again, that's sexualization of the children when you're allowing your children to come out of damn near anything or almost coming out naked. How you doing? You know, how you doing? You gotta be careful about that shit. You know, look how many times you done heard situations when, yo, son, I ain't know Shorty was mad young, or damn, Shorty mad young, but she look like a whole adult. It doesn't matter. Once you tell me something that don't sound adultish, oh yeah, I already know you're a child. So ain't no need to continue a conversation. You got some people that they'll know off the rip, like, oh yeah, this ain't for me. But you got others that will not give 2 shits. Again, this is why you have to be careful and mindful of what your children are doing. Not just the young ladies, the men too. You don't want your little sons out there, your little kings out there going and spreading their royal seeds before time. You don't want them talking about I think somebody pregnant. You Definitely don't want that shit. And some of y'all are still kind of in the phase of young stage, so it's like you definitely don't want to be a grandmother before time. You know, again, I had to start raising that balance more. Young kings should be out here worrying about not just education, but how they going to build for their future. You know, things along those lines. Things that are going to keep them from the jail system. Things that are going to keep them from an early grave. Same thing with the young women. You know, and that's what I'm saying. There's situations, prime example, where I'm sorry, parents, in this day and age, you're going to have to be all visual and all on go just in case. I was reading up on a story. Well, not a story. I should not even read it. One of my peoples was telling me a story about a situation. Um, they was at a mall out of town. You know, they going around trying to shop in the mall area. You got three people following them the whole time, from one side of the mall to the next. And then when they went towards another another store that's in that same big ass parking lot, it was a whole van sitting outside like they was waiting for somebody. You know, and this is what I'm saying. It's dangerous because again, we still have situations where kids are being kidnapped, kids are being taken away from homes and not coming home. This is why I say we got to start being more active and definitely proactive when it comes to the safety of our children, the safety of the things in our community. You know, it's true. BMW, what's going on, my guy? You know, but this is what I'm saying. Now, just imagine that scenario right there. Your daughters and your daughters and your daughters' friends are being followed by grown ass men. Grown ass men that you know for a fact 9 out of 10 are going to try to do something. Sex trafficking is still real out here. And again, we still have situations where kids are going missing. If some of them kids ain't going missing because of the sex trafficking or the kidnapping, some of them are going missing because they don't like what's going on at home. Some of them are running away from what they think is a bad situation, but in that same token, they run into an even worse situation. You're leaving your comfortability or you're leaving the roof over your head to be somewhere, and then you're not even guaranteed to have peace and comfort where you at. Cool game, what's going on? Parents, you really have to start doing that. Start bringing back the old rules and regulations of how things used to work. Again, my child should not be out all hours of the night if they are not working, if they are not in some form of a fucking school program or something along those lines. Or even if it's coming from a family trip, my child should not be out all hours of the night, like I was saying yesterday, like I was saying the day before. No way in the hell you can tell me a child that's not even 13, 14 is out past 2, 3, 4 in the morning. Where are your parents at? Had a situation a couple weeks on the job. Had a break into a degree. We thinking it's grown ups, come to find these all little ass kids. From the camera angle, they look like grown ups. Then when you get far up on them, or you get close up on them, they little kids. Again, at 3 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning, and many of you look over the age of 14. What are you doing outside? Where are your parents at? Why are they allowing you to be out all hours of the night? Well, how could they have you out all hours of the night and not know what the fuck you doing? This is why some people are getting that rude call or that rude awakening or that rude knocking at the door at a certain time. Because now somebody has to sit here and tell you, we're sorry to tell you, or we're sorry to break this bad news to you. I think no parent would really want to go through all of that. No parent should want to hear that or go through that. Again, start loving your offspring more than what you know. Take pride in them. Because again, you took the time to bring them into the world. So now you need to take the time to make sure they focus on the most important things. Focusing on education. Focusing on how to build something, how to establish something. Even if it's the simplest thing like credit. Teaching them things like that will go a long way. Teaching them about finances, paying bills, and all this other stuff. You know, that's why I say it's important. At the end of the day, there's things that the school system ain't gonna fucking teach your children. What's going on? So when you know that part, You gotta fucking do what you gotta do as a parent. And now since we got all of these different agendas being pushed in the school now, that's even more confusion on your children. That's why I say parents got to start being more active, making sure that your school systems are teaching the right fundamentals and not what they want to teach you. You know, like I said, the programs that they eliminated or damn near eliminated, you need to bring them back. Like again, cursive writing, bring that shit back. This way they learn something. This way they know something. That's it. And I think that's it's unfair. I think that it's unfair for real for you to sit there and neglect your child and neglect them in that form of fashion. How could you want the best for your children? How could you say that you're willing to do what's necessary for your children, but in the same token, you watching your children fail? Like if I'm a parent and I don't at least come up to at least one of my damn child's PTA meetings or something like that, that would be a danger to some degree. Because the first thing they're gonna say is, "Well, why the hell is your parents never here?" Gotta be real with that shit. There's a lot of things that some of y'all think y'all gonna be able to do because well, since they not raising their voice about it, or since they ain't complaining about it, what's going on? Oh, we can still do whatever. No, y'all need to start being real about your shit. Again, and y'all, the wind done knocked me back into another dimension, but we back. But again, that would be a danger and a problem because they're gonna ask, well, why the hell is this parent never here? Why this parent never comes up when they need to come up? After a while, they'll start making their own assumptions. Before you know it, ACS will be in your fucking neck, or they will be at your door. That'd be like your kid not going to school at all, not even. Y'all did it to me again. Did it to me again. God damn it. No, but that's gonna be the first thing they say. Prime example. By a certain age, your children are supposed to be in school, supposed to be enrolled in something. And if you're not going to enroll them in school, then how you doing? If you're not going to enroll them in school, you need to be homeschooled. But either which way, they have to be registered that they're learning. They have to be registered for that shit. So if you don't get in control of that, guess what? Next thing you know, you're gonna have truant officers coming. From there, you're gonna fucking have ACS coming. And then if they feel if it's anything other than, your child could possibly get taken out your home. That'd be like you letting your kid go to school all raggedy, dusty, and bummy. Excuse me for saying it that way, but it's the truth. That would be like you letting your child come to school like a whole bum. The first thing they're gonna think is there must be abuse going on at home. Because there's no way your child is coming in like this. I've seen this happen. And in certain situations, it's not that they being abused. No. It's just the household is a wreck. There's no structure. There's no nothing. A parent is not doing what they're supposed to be doing, even down to the simplest thing like making sure their kids' laundry and shit is done. Guess what? That's the first thing they're gonna say. How could you let your child come out like that? Or how could you let your child be in this situation? Again, be truthful in the matter. You cannot sit here and just glide through life and thinking, I'm gonna just bring kids in the world and everything gonna be all willy-nilly. No, it's not gonna be the case all the time. And in certain situations, again, you're gonna put yourself in a predicament that you don't want to be in. I can remember a couple years back, a fucking couple had just got. I remember that shit. That shit like yesterday. Couple being taken out. Couple being taken out in handcuffs because they not doing what they supposed to do for their children. Their children ain't going to school, but they was registered for school, but never made it to school. That don't make sense. So again, you're putting yourself in a position that it's going to be hard and difficult for you to do anything. And once you got certain things like ACS over you, guess what? That shit ain't going away go easy. It's not going away easy at all. There's people right now still fighting to get, child services off their neck. Some of them cases is because what I said one time before. You have some people who are that spiteful, that evil, and that vindictive. I knew people who was getting ACS called on them, and they the best parents in the world. So in that notion right there, that's why I said you always got to be prepared for the unexpected. And in that instance right there, with the one I was speaking about, they're the greatest parents in the world. None of their kids complain about anything. Their kids was even shocked to a degree. Like, why are these people here for? Like, what happened? Yeah, because somebody wanted to call and be spiteful and say that he was being abused when there wasn't no abuse going on. So in certain cases, you got to be prepared for that. There's a lot of people that feel if they're going to want to see you miserable, they're going to try to do the utmost. Trust me. And again, the city wouldn't be the city without hearing one of those. You know this already. Appreciate you for dropping those links, serious baby. Working harder than this damn wind on my scalp piece, baby. Like, shit crazy. But you have people who have done manipulative and spiteful shit like that. I don't like this person, so I'm gonna do this to them. I don't like this person, so I'm gonna make it hard for them to breathe. I'm gonna make it hard for them to do whatever, which is pointless. If you don't like somebody, just don't like them. But don't do things that you know for a fact can have a severe consequence or repercussion to. I told y'all that story a while back. It was a person notorious for doing that shit out here. Want to call ACS on people that ain't doing nothing wrong to their children. And guess what the fuck happened? That same ACS worker they was always calling got called on their ass. Why? Because they was actually doing harm and abuse to their kids. How you got a fucking refrigerator with barely any food in it and you work? How you got piled up clothes and everything else, but again, you work. You got a whole wash and dry at home. That's what I'm saying. Like, you have people that will do the utmost and say the utmost. But in that same token, they ain't looking. You doing certain things, and it's gonna come back. Like, that was common for that one. Known and notorious for calling fucking ACS and even cops on parents that wasn't doing shit to their kids. And ever since that situation, that person has been quiet. That person don't even think to try to do anything because they in fear now that if anything, the table gonna get turned on you real quick. So, in that instance with some of you parents, just be mindful of certain ones that you associate with. Because if they feel any type of way about you, I'm telling you, they're going to try to do any and everything. If you got something that they don't got, which is a family or something like that, they will do the utmost. Again, it's different, bro. It's different right now in this era. That's why I said yesterday to this era is cooked. This era is cooked because, again, there's no form of unity outside of negativity. The only way I'm going to unite with you is if we going to destroy somebody. And that's stupid. That's not no unity. That is not unity at all. You think it's unified to have to stand up and poke and provoke people? That's not good. That shit don't say nothing. Again, before you decide to do anything, you need to be cautious of what you're doing exactly. And again, if you're going to bring kids in the world, then guess what? You are solely responsible for your kids' actions, number one. You're definitely responsible for their decisions and whatever they did. So you need to be truthful and really say, all right, you got to be truthful and be careful. You're going to be held responsible for a lot of the things your kids are doing. We've seen this situation happen time and time again. Look how many parents had to pay for their children's mistakes because their children out here being a menace to society. So you got to look at it from that standpoint. You know, you have to look at it from that standpoint. If your children is out here doing everything up under the sun and you're not aware of it, best believe when something serious hits the fan and it's something that you can't avoid, you're going to be paying for your children's mistakes and actions. Your kid might do something, cause some form of damage to an establishment or property. Guess who's going to be paying for that? You, the parent. Because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, laying down foundations and rules and establishments that will sit there and keep you in motion. You know, like yesterday with the talk prime example, I meant what I said. There should be nothing that is ever forced on a child. No agendas, and definitely things that your children are not happy with. And trust me, these kids read almost everything, even body language to a degree. You'll have people right now who are upset with their parents because their parents refuse to stop doing certain things that they know make them unhappy. There's some kids who don't want to see their kids. There's some kids that don't want to see their parents pissy drunk, fighting, arguing, acting a fool. You know, destroying things that children would do. When these kids are watching adults move like kids, they ain't gonna respect nothing. Like prime example, don't nobody in this Gen Z population respect anything coming before them. Some of them they ain't respecting because this is what it is, man. Look, when you got adults moving like kids, they acting foolish, fighting, cursing, and just doing all sorts of wild stuff. Of course, it's gonna be a problem. No doubt, Sticks, appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, man. Have a great Friday. That's what I'm saying. Look, it's not easy being a parent. It's not easy being a guardian. But it's not hard to lay down certain rules and regulations that you need to lay down. Because again, if you don't lay those foundations down, when it's time for you to really start putting your foot down on certain things, they're gonna laugh at you. Or they just gonna go back and forth with you. Well, shoot, you allowed me to do it, so why I gotta stop doing that? That would be like if you got your kids smoking at a young age, and now all of a sudden you had to change your heart. You want to try to be that parent you was supposed to be. Guess what? They gonna laugh at you. I just watched somebody go through the other day. Your son is not even 14 years old, but he's smoking like a whole grown man. And now you trying to tell him, "Oh, I don't want you smoking no more." And he just laughed at it like, "You smoked with me, so why the hell would I stop doing something now that you started?" No doubt, Sticks, you already know what it is, man. Again, that would be like me partaking in drug use with my child. But now all of a sudden, now all of a sudden I want you to stop doing something. But it's gonna be hard to break that. It's gonna be hard to say, all right, well, they wanna listen to it. No, because they're gonna want to question, they're gonna want to go against, and that's the first thing they're gonna say. It wasn't a problem then. Why is it a problem now? That's like if you're allowing your daughters to go outside and all these little skimpy outfits, especially when they're young. When you decide to try to set the bar straight, they ain't gonna hear that shit. Or they gonna do like some teens do. All right, I'm gonna listen to you. I'm gonna put this on, but I'm gonna keep me a thing of changing clothes. I've seen some people do it recently. I've seen some young ones do it recently. Your mother sent you out in something that was presentable and decent. and you done turned around and switched from that to that. That's not cool. That's why I said parents have to establish a basis on everything from when they're young. You know, you can't sit here and try to say, I'm gonna try to incorporate rules and regulations now when that shit is over. You done been already done spoiled, you know, already done stirred the pot with, you know? You know, and that's what I'm saying. Like when you are raising a child or when you're a guardian, you raising whoever it is you're raising, you need to establish rules and regulations. Like I said the other day, that's just like you taking in nieces and nephews or something like that, right? Guess what? They got to follow rules and regulations. Just because they just now getting in, it's not they stable home. For the time being that they're there, that's their stable home. So again, they need to follow rules and regulations. I don't care how old they are. You could be bringing in teens, prime example, as a guardian. Your team still got to follow a code, and they still got to follow rules and regulations at the end of the day. They can't be coming in all hours of the night, especially when you already got something established in your house. I've seen some people get kicked out of places that they just got comfortable in because they ain't listen. That'd be like you going to a shelter trying to do something, and they telling you, look, if you are working and if you're working nights, then let us know so we can give you that pass for when you get home in the morning. Or if you got morning shifts that you work, let them know that look, this is what I work. When I get off, you know, I'm gonna try to make it before time. Like you know, but if you know you're gonna be late, still try to tell them, look, I might need a pass just in case if I'm leaving work. So this way, you don't give you a spot up. Word, what's going on, my guy? You know, that's what I'm saying. This whole city, yeah, you have to establish boundaries. You have to establish rules and regulations because it's needed. You know, and this is the problem now. We are not doing that as adults. Even if they ain't our kids, we're not establishing some form of, you know, we're not establishing nothing. What we seem to be establishing is just, we just want to allow everything to happen. You know, and it's crazy. You know, that's why I said, you gotta start having them talks with them when they're young. You know, again, establish boundaries, rules, and regulations. So when they get a certain age, what's going on? So when they get a certain age, it ain't gonna be no nothing that you don't need. You know, you ain't gotta worry about no arguments back and forth. You ain't gotta worry about them saying, well, why is it a problem now? Or why should I stop doing this now? Again, when you set the boundaries and set the rules and regulations in place, they will learn that at some point, guess what? This is the rules that are going to be, you know? And in certain scenarios, you know how some parents think, if you don't like the rules and regulations in this house, you can go outside in that world and find out what the world is like. And you'll see that it's not that easy as you think, especially if you don't have no form of income, you don't have education. Like, you know, you got to think about that. These things are the things that are needed right now. Again, establishing rules and regulations in the household, it will get you somewhere. You know, again, your children won't be trying to go against the grain when it's all said and done. You know, that's what I'm saying. You gotta think about that. How do you expect your kids to grow and learn in multiple ways of fashion when again you're not giving them the tools that they need to progress? If I expect my child to read at a certain level, then I need to make sure I'm reading with my children every day. If I'm not reading to my children, I'm going through words and sentences and everything. Like I said, even when it comes down to the little ones, the toddlers, anybody under the age of 8, anybody under the age of 7 or 6 should be learning more than what they're learning. You know, it shouldn't just be simple words and math. No, if they are wise enough to understand it more, then you try to give them as much as you can, but don't overload them either. Because again, that's one thing. You can't push too much education on a child. You can push enough of it, but not too much. You know. But again, you need to establish everything that needs to be established. You know. And again, bringing the right forms of education to play. You know, making sure that this is what's needed. Okay. Well, I see my child has an issue with this. Like again, prime example, if you know your children have issues in certain areas, try to help them. That's the main thing you would try to do is try to help them. If I know my child is having a problem reading to a certain degree, I'm gonna sit down with my child every day and try to help my child. And if my child still needs extra added help, then I'm gonna do as a parent and get the extra added help for them. So if I gotta get a tutor just to make sure everything is everything, and I'll do so. Because again, I want my child to be their best. I want my child to have a strong knowledge of the world around them, and I want them to have a strong education on things that are going on right now. And again, if I gotta break down some things because they trying to do certain things in the school already that they shouldn't be doing, then I'm gonna be the person to do it. You know, again, your child's first teacher is you. Before anybody else, your child knows you. So you are supposed to make sure you're doing the best you can to give them the best education and give them the best resources possible. You know, and again, make sure that you find out what your children are interested in. If your children are interested in things that are going to keep them happy, then you do so. You know, again, don't force things on people that you wouldn't want forced on you. And this is why I said we got to get back to that because again, give me 1 second. I knew it was your damn fault. Put your damn Jordans on so we can get some damn sun, man. I'm not gonna tell you that again. Yeah, my bad. You already know. No, but it's the truth though. It is true. You know, don't force nothing on them you wouldn't want forced on you or it wasn't forced on you. Because it's gonna have a dire consequence and repercussion. Like yesterday, prime example with the story I was speaking about. That lady was about to force something on a whole 4-year-old. A 4-year-old that don't know if they want peanut butter now or if they want a whole steak sandwich later. Which is crazy. Because again, how could you think to say, I'm gonna have my child listed as this? No, your child is either a man or a woman. Your child is either a boy or a girl. There is no trying to classify genders. And I hate when people have this conversation today. I'm sorry because there's some people that are trying to say, oh, there's more than 2 genders. No, the hell there's not. You're either born a man or you're either born a woman. Which one are you born? You can't say, oh, I classify as this. And that non-binary shit, what I was saying yesterday is true. That's a form of we don't classify as male or female. So then what would you classify as if you're in that category? What do you want to classify as a hamburger, a ham sandwich, or something along those lines? Come on, gotta be real. Y'all doing too much to confuse these children as it is now. And the sad part about it is only a small handful of the parents are actually standing up for them. Nah, we're not gonna allow this. We're not gonna continue to allow this. You know, and I applaud and give the strength to everybody who is fighting. Dee, what's going on, baby? Because again, you got some parents that are just not gonna be for all the nonsense. The days you were trying to feed my child, no. You're feeding them false information and you're also giving them false hope. You know, and that's the sad part about it. You know, and that's why I said, you know, this stigma of parents just falling back and allowing their children to be victims and thrown into the hellfire, that shouldn't even stop. It do. If I want the best for my child, I'm gonna make sure that my child is getting the best and the most adequate. I'm not settling for nothing less. But the one thing also, I'm not gonna force things down my child's throat that don't need to be forced down their throat. No, no, I'm not. I'm just saying this is a part of what I was saying, though. Serious, like I'm not touching on it. I touched on most of it yesterday. Again, the fact that you was about to try to do this to your child and mess them up for life. This should be a serious situation for a lot of y'all. Again, let your children grow naturally, let them learn naturally, and don't do anything to disturb a balance. The problem is now there is no balance. These kids are being attacked on all angles. They're being attacked with lies. They're also being attacked with truths to the root. The truths that they're being told, they don't want to hear those truths because the lie sounds better, which is true. In most people's cases, a lie sounds better than the truth. But again, the truth is not meant to just hurt. No, the truth is meant to be the truth. And again, you'll have people that argue you down with that. Oh, but there's no. What you listened to and what you thought was true is not true. And again, we coming to this point now where it's just let them run wild and find out things on their own. No. Prime example, if you parents are not paying attention to your children and they out and about with the wrong people who's into the wrong shit, expect your child to be messed up in some situation or mixed up in a situation. So if they don't get locked up with those quote unquote people that they hanging with, they're gonna be a part of something that they wasn't expecting to be a part of. And now when it does get heavy and it hit the fan, now it has to be damn. I need help. Should never get to that level. That's all I'm saying. Should never get to that level to where you just don't care no more. And the sad part about it is in certain situations, the parents show they don't care. Because again, if any time you could think to not make sure your children are going to school, you're not making sure that your children are not in the wrong type of predicaments, that's lazy parenting. I'm making sure my child go to school, number one, and I'm going to make sure they stay their ass in school. And if I got to sit there and act like a paraprofessional and sit in the class, so be it. Just to make sure you're not doing nothing you ain't supposed to be doing, and also to make sure that you don't just up and leave. The minute you think the school bell ring, you think it's cool to just run out to school. Nope. Be right on your neck. I believe if most parents would do that, it would be a better result when it comes to certain situations. Like in certain situations, you might have a period where you have to go take attendance so the school knows that your ass is there. If you don't take that, they're going to assume that you're absent. Even if you did reach one or two classes, they're going to assume that you're absent because you didn't sign that attendance. I know because I went through it my damn self. I could be in school and I could be in all the classes, but if I didn't go when I was supposed to take that general attendance, a damn absence letter was definitely coming to my house. That's what I'm saying. Make sure your kids is in school and make sure that they are not out and about in the world behind you doing anything they ain't supposed to be doing. And if you think that they're doing something that they're not supposed to be doing, then again, you need to check that as a parent. We're Chicago, baby. Again, apologies for the wind in the background, y'all. I'm to my destination, but this wind is not trying to die down for nothing. But no, you got to think about that. Your child needs to be in a safe place. If you sending your children to school, make sure they get to school and make sure they stay in school. And if you think that it's going to be another situation, then guess what? Have some extra eyes and ears open. There's people right now who are upset because they friends or they family friends have turned the tide on them. Ain't your child supposed to be here? Yeah, well, I caught your child over here. They get mad behind that, but guess what? If It's for your own safety. For you youngins out there, it's for your own safety. It's for your own good. Because if you're not, if you're not watched, if you're not being supervised, you could get into some form of trouble that again your parents might have to get you out of. And if they can't get you out of it, you're gonna have to take that and eat that for what it is. Sanjay, baby. What's going on, my guy? Chilling. Trying to make sense of this damn win. Yeah, my bad, Joe, but it's the truth, though. You gotta take into careful consideration on things. Again, you are your child's first teacher. So if you're not teaching them anything outside of social media, hanging out with the crowd, getting drunk and high, or shortchanging things in life, guess what? That's exactly what they're gonna follow. If a parent, matter of fact, I'm gonna say it like this: if you got both parents that's in the drug game, whether they users or whether they sellers or whatever, guess what? What you think your child gonna end up doing if they don't break the cycle or if this cycle don't get broken? They're gonna be right in that same token. They're gonna be right behind you, following what you do, following the things that you do. That's why I said as adults, you gotta be careful to some degree of what you present around your children. And again, even down to the cursing. If you're gonna curse, it should be well outside of the vicinity. Don't say certain things where a child will pick that up and then start moving with it. And then again, you also got to be careful. You got to be careful about that because whatever things you're not teaching, they're learning somewhere. They're learning either out in the streets or being around the people that they associate with. Like I said before, your children shouldn't be worried about certain things well before their time. Your children shouldn't worry about trying to be adults well before their time. Because when it's all said and done, when they do get a certain age, they're going to realize, damn, I'm not a kid anymore. Damn, things are starting to get a little harder now. Yeah, you're starting to come to realization that your parents are doing certain things for your betterment. They trying to teach you certain things for your betterment. If you have parents that actually care and you got parents who are trying to do their best by you, you need to do what's right by them. Real spill, baby. You already know if y'all just tuned in at the like button. If y'all new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. But it's the truth, though. You can't sit here and expect certain things to go in your light in your direction when you're not doing the things that you need to do to make it happen. Big dog, what's going on, my guy? Again, you ladies out there that need to hear this, especially you quote-unquote single modern-day women, you single mothers, modern-day women, I'm speaking to y'all because some of y'all are the reason why these women and some of these young women are losing their minds. Why they so misguided. They misguided because of the BS that you feeding them day in and day out. They're being misguided because you're not telling them the actual truths you're supposed to be telling them. Again, my child should be dressed presentable. If I got a young queen, my young queen is not wearing anything that I feel would cause the wrong type of attention. I don't care how old they get. I'm making sure my child does not wear anything, especially while up under my roof. You're not going to wear what you want to wear. You're not going to do what you think you're going to do and think that there's not going to be a consequence or a repercussion to it. There will be one. And this is where, again, establishments and rules need to be put into place. Because to some degree, there's some children who will try to challenge the authority, which is you, the parent. But if you're not putting your foot down when you're supposed to, oh, guess what? There'll be a problem. And you'll continue to have problems, even into their young adulthood. Guess what? If you're not teaching your child how to get out there, to be motivated, how to get themselves established in the world around them, how to try to make sure they are making some form of bank, doing what's necessary for their betterment in their future, don't expect them to do much. If you're a lazy parent and you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, oh, guess what? Your child, 9 out of 10, they ain't going to fit the bill and they ain't going to succeed. Again, if I want my child to be at their best when it comes to reading and stuff, But again, I don't sit down with them and read with them. I don't read them a story at night. If I don't go through it with words and everything else, I don't expect them to read past a certain level. One thing I would say as a parent, or even as a guardian for some of y'all, you have to stop getting so frustrated. There's some of y'all who are pushing your kids to the opposite side of the tracks because look at the anger that you present. If your child is really suffering like in that form of way, then sit down as a parent and fucking just try to do the best you can. I granted it's stressful because you want your child to at least be on a certain level, but there's gonna be some kids that learn differently. There's gonna be some kids that are not gonna learn as fast. And if you have one of those children, you need to have patience. Because if you don't have patience, trust me, it will not look good in the long run. Prime example, there's some of y'all right now, and I'm gonna say it again to some of y'all women that need to hear it. Because yeah, I'm gonna go down the line with men too. But we don't have too much. The one thing I could say for any real father and any real man in there, whether they with their significant other or with their baby mother or not, those ones that are logical, majority of the time, they are not going to say nothing that they know is going to scar their children. I hear you real spill now. It's the truth though. Your job is not over even when your kids come into adulthood. You know, you still got to be keeping a watchful eye out. You still got to make sure that they are well above. You know. But again, how you expect your children to blossom and flourish in life if you're not doing anything to make sure it happens? Again, you got to have patience with your children. Because even if your children, prime example, if your children can read, they can write, but they have problems with math, if you're great with math, sit down and try to break it down with them. And again, don't get too stressed out and overwork. I know it might be easier said than done, but for some of y'all, you have to learn to be in control of your emotions and your intelligence. I gotta be in control of my emotions because I'm trying to teach my child something of intelligence. I'm trying to make sure that they're reading and writing past a certain level. I'm making sure that their comprehension and their understanding of everything is on point. You can't think that you're going to just bring a kid in the world and then just allow them to fend for themselves. No. That'd be like you having a baby and then as soon as they come out the womb, all right, well, go find out the world around you. That shit ain't going to work. You still got to beat it. You know, and that's again, a parent's job is never over even when they kids get into adulthood. Because guess what? Their kids are going to start having kids. So now you got to not just worry about your kids, you got to worry about your grandkids. If you already got grandkids and they having kids, you got to worry about your great grands. You know, this list goes on and on. You know, yeah, we know it's not an easy job, but it's not a hard one either. Because again, if you love your offspring, like I was saying yesterday, you know, the gift of life is precious. You're given the gift of life. So if you're going to bring somebody into the world, again, be prepared to be responsible. When they get into a certain age, you definitely got to teach them about responsibility and accountability. You know, the most important thing. Because if a child is not going to be accountable for their actions, then guess what? Every time there is a situation, they're going to point the blame to somebody else. Baby girl, baby. You know, and that's what I'm saying. The one thing I'm going to say, and again, this is again to some of y'all young women, or you young modern-minded women, especially the single parents, the things that you say could fucking cut a child in half. Don't think that it can't happen. The same way a man could crush somebody's dreams with words and actions, you women can do the same thing. I was watching something that kind of pissed me off. And again, it pissed me off because this woman, her ideal of what a man should be, you looking at him right there. Your son is a prime example. Your son didn't know his father that well. You raised him. Everything that a man is supposed to be doing, even a young man is supposed to be doing, you got it right in front of your face. But you will sit here and say he's not the man that he should be. Then what the fuck should he be? I hate when people do that shit. What do you think your child is supposed to be? If your child has mannerisms, respect, boundaries, and everything else, everything that a parent's supposed to want to instill in their children, then what the hell else do you want from them? Like, come on now. Some of y'all women will really damage your child, and then you wonder why your children are not good husbands, they're not good fathers, or they want to be absentees. Because why do I want to be with somebody who I feel is going to disrespect me, even when I'm doing the best that I can? You know, that's what I'm saying. It's sad when even a mother would sit there and try to say, my son is not the man he should be. Then what the hell is he supposed to be? He's not locked up. He's not in an early graveyard. He ain't out here getting nobody pregnant. So what the hell do you want from your children? See, the problem with some of you parents, your expectations are too fucking high. You trying to get them to reach expectations that might not be reachable for them. Again, know what your children are for and what they're against. But again, don't force nothing on them they don't need to be forced on them. How you doing? I'm about to say it's your fault, it's windy. It's your fault. I'm not messing with you. No, but you know, you got to think about that though. Why would I force something on my child that I know my child don't like? If my child don't like sports, the most I could do, look, well, you still got to play some form of recreation. Especially we know that's required in schools. They still want you to participate and phys ed and everything else. Okay, well, they still got to pass a curriculum. So yeah, you know, even if they don't want to play sports, still try to get something implemented in them so they at least know what the thing is. I can't put my child into football. My child don't even know how to do the simplest thing like catch the ball or even spike the ball when needed. And I'm setting my child up for failure. And there's a lot of you modern-minded women. Yeah, I said modern-minded because some of y'all are really fucking up the generation that we in now. Sorry to say it that way, it's true. When you can sit here and try to cut your son in half, and your son is probably one of the best sons that any parent would want, there's something wrong with you. See, what your ideal of a man is not going to be everybody's build. And that ideal man you talking about might not ever exist. It's just the idea in your mind. Again, if my child is well respected and has respect, and my child has boundaries, my child has everything that I've instilled in them, dignity and everything else along those lines, self-respect, all of that, then what else could I expect my child to be? What do I expect from my child? I expect my child to be the best child, period. Appreciate you, real spill, baby. But it's the truth, though. What else could you possibly want from your children? Again, there's some of y'all who are placing that value too high. The main thing you should be looking forward to is your child at least graduating in life, getting through the critical times in life, even during their teen stages. But again, you want them to be the best adult possible. Who don't want that? Tamika, baby. And again, some of y'all need to hear that. Because your words, again, some of you young women out there, you single mothers out there, especially with young babies, your words affect them children like anybody else could affect them. If they're constantly being told that they're not good enough, if they ain't gonna ever amount to nothing, oh, you're gonna be just like your father. You're gonna be just like this. You're gonna be like this. You a sorry sack of an all these other things that they spew on their kids, guess what? Your child will start believing that shit. Your child will start thinking, well, damn, maybe I'm not good enough. Damn, maybe I'm not smart enough. You know? So again, don't ever push that form of negativity into your child. It's not supposed to happen. But for that young woman out there, you should be ashamed of yourself because your child is a spitting image of what a man should be. Marlene, baby, your child is a spitting image of what you quote unquote say is an ideal man. If that ideal man in your mind is supposed to be all of this, and that child already shows all the signs of that, then what's not to love? How could you even say and say, "Oh, he's not the man he should be"? Then how should he be? Should he be out in this world confused about himself? Should he be out in this world being irresponsible and making irresponsible decisions? Like we got to figure this out because there's no way you can sit here and say that this child is not what a man should be. This child done graduated. This child is making strides in his life. Like I said before, he's not locked up. He's not dead. He's not putting babies out in the world irresponsibly. He's not disrespecting you. He's showing you all the utmost respect and love. And even still, you're disrespecting him. Your words cut deep. Don't think that it don't, ladies. It do. If you say the wrong thing to your child and consistently say it, they're going to start believing it. And then from there, it's going to be a downhill. Now it's going to be, well, since I'm not this, why do you care about shit? I can remember a couple years ago at work and kind of walked into a conversation I didn't want to walk into. But as I'm listening, I'm hearing this young man and even this young woman say these things to their parents. First things first, how are we not ideal children for you when we're doing everything possible? We're not out here fighting against each other. We're not out here just having kids all crazy, irresponsible with different people. We graduated high school. We in college. We looking for jobs. We doing what's necessary. So how could you say we're not ideal children? I watched both son and daughter go in on the parents, and they ain't curse them out or nothing, but they went in, and that truth struck them parents like lightning. Like, yeah, what y'all think is supposed to be the norm? No, I can't even say the norm. What you think is supposed to just be a general high standard, it's not going to work for everybody. It's not going to work. Again, your child could have talents in certain areas, but if they're not trying to be in that area of expertise or anything, then shit, don't force it on them. If your child don't want to do music, but they decide they want to write books, children's books, they want to be a motivational speaker, they want to try to be a physical trainer, so on and so forth, then why not support that? They not doing nothing that would deem them to be degenerates, and they ain't doing nothing that would be irresponsible. The problem is with some of you parents, and especially again you modern-minded women, you're modern women with the modern minds. You got this idea and notion that you don't need somebody. Guess what? We need each other, period. I don't care how you look at it. I don't care how tough you try to be with it. At the end of the day, it shouldn't be no battle of the sexes. It shouldn't be none of that shit. We both need each other because we both complete a life cycle, regardless to how you may feel. In some situations, you do got emotional fathers who are doing what an emotional mother would be doing. Being irresponsible, being too emotional, and not listening to reason. And that's the thing. I don't care what stage in life you at, whether you got kids or you don't got kids. Nobody's gonna want to say I want to go to sleep alone and wake up alone. That's just impossible. Everybody wants to wake up to some form of warmth, great conversation, so on and so forth. But when you got people, especially in these damn sections of, especially this internet, where they just consistently giving you all the bad stories and not nothing positive, that's a problem. And again, this is why I said some of these young women out here now are being misled and being confused. If you think, prime example, ladies, if you think keeping your man, if you think by yelling, nagging, or putting them down, you think you're going to keep your man will constantly be in somebody's arms or in somebody's bed by the night. Sorry to tell you that way. It's the truth. You can't sit here and belittle and keep disrespecting somebody and think they're going to stay. That's on either end, too. Some of y'all women allowing the disrespect from a man, especially somebody you claim that you love or claim that you got something for. But there should be no disrespect. If I got love for you, like I say, then I should respect boundaries and wishes, right? I'm supposed to be able to respect certain things that I know need to be respected. If I can't do that, then I'm not showing any growth and I'm not showing any form of me changing. You know, it's crazy. Gotta be real though. You know, there's a reason why some of these young men and women are out here being misled, being confused, and getting pushed or forced into something that they ain't even really want to be into in the first place. That would be like me being a parent, but I'm out here in the streets. I'm hustling. I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm going against what I'm supposed to be trying to teach. If I want to teach my kids that they don't have to necessarily do this, and they don't have to do this to survive, then I would have to change up my whole mindset. I would have to say, well, fuck this. I'm going to try to get me any job possible and start building from there. That street shit is only going to last but so long. That quote unquote hustling shit is only going to last but so long. Then if you want to be technical, if you go from back in the day till now, the drug game is almost finished. It's almost finished. You know, with some of these people that was hustling, pushing crack and shit like that, that shit ain't moving no more. Cocaine ain't moving as much. And if it is, shoot, you gotta have a clientele. I'm sorry to say it that way. How would I know about these street shit? Because again, at some points I was delving to a degree. So I pretty much know certain in and outs. But this is one of them I would say. The drug game has definitely decreased as far as the money and the value is concerned. Because what you would have been getting in the 80s, even, you know, on a day that you ain't have as much, you would get rid of everything that you had within that small shot. There was some people that was sitting there getting it in from morning to the evening. And if things is moving flowing, then guess what? All right, you getting what you getting on. You're doing what you need to do. But then again, you know, at what point do you say, all right, this ain't for me no more? Like I said, what you gonna be in your 40s, your 50s, and your 60s, and you still hustling? No. I knew people who got in the game for a little bit and left the game after a while because guess what? It wasn't working for them. And not saying it wasn't working for them because they wasn't getting money. They just wasn't happy. They wasn't satisfied because they sitting there seeing that certain people are moving back and forth. They going to work. They gaining this. They gaining that. And even though they ain't gaining as fast as you would gaining on the corner, regardless, now when it's all said and done, you ain't out here just trying to be fly. Like I said, some of these people out here, they only hustling just to be fly, just to have sneakers and an outfit and say, yeah, nigga, this is me. That shit is cold. Or you hustling to get you a whip and then the only thing you doing is riding around in the hood all day. That's corny. Go take a road trip. Go do something. You worked hard to go get something just to be sitting in one spot. That'd be like me going on a damn shopping spree and buying over $2,000 worth of clothes just to sit in the hood all day. I don't know. If I'm going to buy something that I think is nice, I'm going out. I'm going to do something. I'm going to be a part of something. I'm not going to just be dressed up, dressed to impress and show the people that I got it. show the people that I could go do it whenever I gotta go do it. No, I'm not doing all of that. That shit is corny too. And in certain instances, that make you a target. But again, as parents, if you are doing whatever out streetwise, at some point when you get kids, your mindset should change. There's people I know right now that said they was doing what they was doing and they stopped. I even knew drug addicts who was, I'm talking about drug addicts to the point where they could have killed themselves out here. They done got themselves together, especially after finding out they got children coming in the world, and have been clean ever since. Because what's more important, your personal happiness or your children's growth and development? Like there's some of you women right now, you might not know if you're pregnant or not, but if you think you're pregnant, you would want to go make sure that you're doing what's necessary that's not going to mess up your child in the long run. You know, and that's the truth though. If you go back in the 80s era, you know, and you look at some of the situations we had, you got to look at this part. Look how many babies came in the world addicted to crack cocaine and everything else. Some of these kids was blind. Some of these kids went deaf. Some of these kids just couldn't talk. It's crazy. You know, and that's what I'm saying. At some point, you're going to get tired of just the same old hustle and bustle. And that's why I said, some of y'all be out in these corners from sun up to sundown. If you want to be out here like that, you might as well go get you a job and be out from that time to that time of the day. Truth, man. Go on there. No doubt, serious. Be safe on that road, baby. I ain't gonna hold y'all too long either. I still got a couple minutes in here. This wind is getting on my nerve, y'all. My apologies for some if it sound like I'm choppy. I think we're trying to get a hurricane, but it ain't working. And it's like mad baby powder out here. Mad baby powder. You know, but you gotta think about it. Even if you move in a certain way in life, once a child or once children are involved, your mindset should change. I was watching a comedy skit with his father and his son, and the son always poking with him and just messing with him, but the father says something that resonated. Like, he said, son, he was being jokeful when he said, well, you should have pulled out then. I ain't asked to be here. He said, you right, I should have pulled out. But guess what? You here just like them damn kids you got didn't ask to be here, nigga. But at least I raised your ass. I was like, oh shit. Old man was getting on him, but he was truthful. Like, nigga, I raised you, not your mother. Your mother was out here being a town hoe and everything else. That man blew up everything that day. But he was being truthful. Your mom was out here being a town hoe. I'm out here doing what I gotta do for you. I stopped doing certain things just on the fact that I wanted to make sure you were straight. I stopped doing certain things because I'm trying to show you better. That father stopped smoking, drinking, all that once he found out his child was being born. And that nigga been sober and clean for what? Well over 40 years. So that should tell you something. Some people will have the mindset to change things right then and there when they find out they got little ones coming in the world. That should be the mindset for anybody. Things are not going to be the same once children are involved. So it's key and critical that you understand that part. Once you have kids, prime example, for some of y'all, all that, you want to be out all hours of the night, still hanging out, partying, clubbing, and just not being responsible for your children, it's going to backfire. And in certain situations, you not being the stern parent you're supposed to be, or you're not being a responsible one, your children could be susceptible to some bullshit. There's some cases right now where some of these kids have said that they was victims of molestation and everything else because of the people that they was around. If it wasn't family, it was people that the family trusted around them, and look what happened with that trust. That's what I'm saying. Some of you parents think it's just cool to leave your kids everywhere too. You can't do that in this day and age. You think your child could be left and being safe. Your child could be a victim of anything. And then what's going to happen? In the long run, yeah, if something does happen, yeah, you can point the finger to the person that you was around or that you had them around, but you still would have to point the finger at yourself. Because again, if you're not being collective in your thinking process and you just want to leave your child anywhere, your child will definitely be another victim of society. It's time for a lot of you parents, especially you single parents. I don't give a damn if you're a single mother or father. Y'all got to start getting your brain back into that training stage of things. Okay, it's different now that I got a child. I can't do certain things. I can't say certain things. I can't even think to move around in a certain way. My child will be watching everything I do, or watching everything or listening to everything I say. That's why I said even when it comes to conversation, wrong conversation, the children shouldn't be involved in that or know what the hell going on. They need to be in a place. Parents, start reestablishing order in your house. This is part two of what I was talking about technically yesterday. Start establishing rules and basics. So this way your kid will be straight. You want your kid to live prosperously and to be prosperous, then give them what's needed. Give them not just the tools for school, give them the tools for life around you. You don't want your kid out here making mistakes, just out here doing certain things, out here, getting into all sorts of activities they don't need to be before their time. Then again, you have to sit down and have that conversation. If you don't want your child out here having kids well before time to be a grandparent, then again, you need to sit down and establish that shit with your children. It's key facts right there. You know, there's nothing worse than a parent that don't give a damn. Yeah, there are worse things in the world, but a parent that don't care, don't even think to try, that's a fucking crime in itself. You're gonna think to give up on your children. Guess what? Your children will be exactly what they turn out to be. Unsuccessful. Confused. 9 out of 10, you keep doing certain things, your child can end up going to something that you didn't want them to go to, heavy drugs. Now, again, let me say this to some of y'all women that need to hear this shit. Now, again, you want to be a single parent, and some of y'all want to try to say, "Oh yeah, well, this is what it is," and "Oh, I'm a single parent by choice." Just know, y'all single by choices to a degree will be a downfall for you too. You single by choice because you don't want nobody to come and establish order. And again, how can you some of you modern women? I'm speaking to the modern women today. The modern women. How do you expect things to go accordingly when you're not allowing things to go accordingly? You can't say you're looking for a good man to build with. You're looking for somebody that's going to accept you and yours, prime example. And then you're not going to let that man do what he's supposed to do in any household. Like any man's supposed to do in any household. Wherever you lay your hat, that's your home. So if you're not able to even do that, that's a problem. But again, some of y'all going to have to think wisely. Now again, with certain situations, you might like somebody. You might like a woman. You might like a man, prime example. But if they got too many damn kids, you ain't going to be with them. You know this for a fact. And if the only way you're going to be with them is if you're already at a certain stage where it doesn't matter. That's just real right there. Nobody's trying to have no full packages coming with whatever they trying to get. It's sad to say it that way, but in certain cases it's true. No man, especially a man that don't got children, is going to be willing to accept you and yours like family. And they definitely not going to play the role of a stepdaddy if you're not going to allow them to do what a father would be doing to the children. Disciplining them, correcting them, setting rules and establishments. There's some of you women who fuck your own selves up. And then you'll cry that there's no good men out there. No, the problem is the men don't want women like you. Because at any time you could think to do certain things, even to a point of trying to poison your kids. And at a certain age, if it is just a single mother situation, if that baby mother is bitter and everything else, everything that she says and spews onto that child will definitely corrupt. You got some people right now, like I said, got some women out there trying to discredit and be, they trying to discredit and they trying to downplay and even trying to destroy the man's character. But if that man was good enough for you to lay down with, have kids with, if that man was doing everything right by you up until whatever initial point, it's something that you did. Take accountability for it. I watched the video one day, and the dude said something that was truthful for some of them that need to hear it. When he said that, everybody shut up. He's like, go ahead and ask your exes how everything was. 9 out of 10, they're gonna tell you, they're gonna say a different story. Because again, some of y'all think that you're the prize. It's sad to say it, you really think you're the prize. But I'm gonna say this in so many real life terms, you're not the prize. Sorry to say it that way. You're not the prize. You're not on audit. You're not on audit. On top of that, again, you would have to ask, if you think that everything was so great and grand in your relationships, then why is your relationship not together now? There's some people that again will sit here and say it's always the man's fault that something happened. No, we need to stop doing that shit too. There's a stigma around saying that it's always the men that's messing up. But again, when you look at those divorce records and shit like that that's going on right now, majority of the shit is the women that's moving away. It's not the men. Men are willing to work and build around whatever the situation is. We willing to work. We willing to build around it. But when you're sitting here with this notion of I don't need you, I only need you for this, then don't expect no happiness. That would be like you telling the man, I don't need you for shit outside of just some good old and that's it. Then guess what? That's exactly what that man is going to have in his mind. Okay, well, this is what she wants. This is what she going to get. And when you decide to try to say, oh, I want to take this further, he ain't going to want to take it further. Why? Because you already had something implemented and established in the head that you don't need. And that's why I don't get it. Your logic, especially some of you modern day women, your logic goes against everything that you're saying. It's contradictory. You can't say you want a good man, and when there's a good man in, you won't let him do what's necessary. You can't say that a man is not going to do this, or a man is lazy, or a man is this, when again, you've already had the tone established that you don't need him for nothing. Period. And I'm going to say the same thing for you fellas. There's some of y'all that are saying and doing certain things. Guess what? When you don't get the results you think you should be getting, that's on you. You have to start rethinking about things that are necessary and important. But again, you need to start establishing some form of order. Establish some order in your life first. Once you do that, once you learn to love yourself, once you learn to keeping yourself on the up and ups, things will move the way you need it to move. Yeah, you're going to have headaches and stresses in life, but those headaches and stresses shouldn't be your downfall, and it shouldn't be a reason why you're not still trying. There's some of y'all who need to try better and do better. The problem is only a small handful of you will actually do better. The rest of y'all will still be trying to figure things out. At a certain point, things should already be mapped out for you. And again, if you've been in a situation where you might have a child, might have 2 children with somebody, and things didn't work out, or if that person passed on, or whatever the case is, all right, well, guess what? You still have the right to move on. But in the same token, know what you're moving is. Know who you're moving with. You can't just be moving with people and not knowing anything. Again, learn solid things so you can build solid things. And before I do get up out of here, I appreciate everybody that tuned in. For those on the road right now, again, make sure y'all keeping yourselves safe, especially on this Friday. You already know how the weekend plays to some degree with traffic. And we also have people that don't know what the hell they're doing behind the wheel. Definitely make sure y'all keeping yourselves safe. For those that are celebrating birthdays, again, I ain't forget about y'all. Don't worry, I ain't forget about y'all.
that too obvious? Okay, I like your confidence. Oh, this one could promise. Okay, that's like Kalani's. Roger like Kalani's. Okay.
Again, another year around the sun, another blessing, and hopefully y'all enjoy yourselves this weekend celebrating. Oh, and for the people that's sitting in the back with the madness, I got you. Oh yeah, I forgot it is Friday. My bad.
Don't give in, trust me, cause take all you see. So let me in. Don't give in, trust me, cause take all you see. So let me in. Don't give in, trust me, cause take all you see. So let me in. Don't give in.
Y'all already knew what it was. But, you know, again, hopefully somebody did get something out of this. And for those who might have just been tuning in, definitely make sure y'all catch this replay and share it out. Getting talks like this need to be established because, again, we got to get back to some form of, you know, critical thinking. But we also got to get back to the basics. If we ain't getting back to the basics, then guess what? This generation will continue to be cooked. You know, you got to think about it from generation to generation. There's always some form of knowledge and everything that's passed down. But in this generation right now, the only knowledge we seem to get is what's going on the internet, what's going on in Hollywood, what's going on with this. We're not learning and trying to gain the things that we should be learning and trying to gain. Until you parents really start getting it together, that fight is going to be a very, very stressful fight. But I appreciate everybody that tuned in. I think I dropped the link in the chat, but if nobody's popping up, don't worry. You already know how it is. For those following me on Clapper, I'm gonna try to be back tonight around 7, hopefully. Y'all pray for me because the reason why I haven't really been on Clapper like that, I still got family that's visiting. And y'all pray for my post-scout piece. Pray for my post-scout piece. But I appreciate everybody that's been a part of the build, still becoming a part of the build. And yes, we still got more great conversations to bring to the damn table. We're gonna have people who don't want to have these conversations because they feel it's either taboo or something that they don't fucking want to do. But guess what? I'm down for all the most uncomfortable talks. Even talks that don't affect me, I'm still down. Before I do get about y'all, it's still a Feel Good Friday. Hold up. I ain't forget about y'all rap video of the year.
Yeah, I'm out the way, yeah, I'm low, okay. Yeah, the island right here is remote, okay. I ain't thinking about no reaper, nigga, I'm reaping what I sow, okay. Got a Benjamin and a Jackson all in my house, like I'm Joe, okay. Hellcat, met his homeboys and them types LA solo, okay. Everybody wanna be demon till they get chipped by your
Definitely, y'all stay blessed and have a great one. But again, for those following me on Papa, I'll definitely see y'all tonight. I'm definitely gonna make this my damn mission. Tonight we gotta shake up palms up in here, man. I appreciate everybody that's been a part of this live for real. I ain't forget about y'all again. Don't fuck get up out of here. Hold up. And for everybody else,
That's just not my problem. Not my problem. That's just not my problem.
but y'all, I appreciate y'all though. Always a blessing to bring something to the people. That's what we're gonna keep doing. You know, you might not like what I'm saying. You might not like the things that come out my mouth. But these are things that you need to accept. And today was one of those conversations that you need to accept. You need to accept the fact that if you don't do everything critical as a parent or a guardian, your children are doomed to suffer the same fates. And I can't say the same curses because, again, you were blessed to learn naturally and grow naturally. These kids nowadays don't know what natural is because, again, they're being fed everything outside of natural. Time for the parents to start really uniting. That's all I can really say today. But let me get up out of here and figure out lunch. If y'all was new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to the replay game. Shout out to the Shadow Mafia and the Shadow Babies. Y'all know what it is, baby. Everybody that was in attendance today, y'all already know that love is love and it'll be reciprocated. I don't know how to be fake. All I can do is give you real. That's all I'm gonna do is give you real topics and real bills. And I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all enjoy the rest of your afternoons, your evenings, and happy Saturday to all you future babies that rock with your boy. I still need tomorrow's lottery numbers today. I might get those on the road. Y'all stay safe. Birthday people, y'all stay safe as well. Enjoy yourselves and enjoy another blessing. Y'all stay safe. Keep that third eye open. Until the next live, we out of here. Peace and blessings.